This is another look at one of Great Grandma's quilts. This one was in pretty bad shape. As you can see, the fabric's just falling apart. I have removed some of the border because it was so worn and dirty. It was just, the piece that was here was shredding. And I also removed the batting because it was dirty. Here's an example of how she did corners. She had extra fabric. She just folded it up. This would have been looking like that. It's actually a full square that she just folded it up and put it in there. She didn't trim it off. And actually that has helped me, that these triangles, they were full squares. I removed them because they were so worn, much like this. They were just shredded. I removed the border. I unpicked these triangles, what was left of the square. I washed them gently in some water and Orvis soap. And I hand stitched them back on. That's my hand stitching right there. I just stitched them on sort of like applique. And then I'm putting on a new border. This is some fabric I found that I really liked, and so I am hand stitching it on, trying to stitch it just through the fabric. Here's a piece where you can see the piece that was bad. This one also, you can see this is what I turned to the inside, so I have this fabric now showing. So this is gonna, how it is gonna look. I'm gonna obviously have to add some more batting in here and straighten up this backing on this. You can see though, a lot of this is just in shreds. It's just, there's pieces missing. There's some I removed because I'm trying to match them, but it's just, so much of it is just absolutely shredded. The borders are dirty. She folded the border over on 3 sides. She folded the border over to the front. I'm sorry, she folded the border to the back to make the binding. But then there's one side, this side, she just folded them together and slip stitched them together like this. So it's all rather odd. Let's see if I can find, you see it's just like a knife edge, but then she went back to trying to fold the backing. I think I said she folded the border to the back. I don't know. It's just, it's come apart so much that you can see how dirty this is. It's just a mess. But here are some more pieces that are just gone. There's no fixing that. There's other bits and pieces that some are in pretty good shape. These aren't in bad shape. They're all there. Some of this yellow is pretty good. It's stained, obviously. A lot of this is okay. But then there's other pieces here. It's just shredded. It's just, there's no saving this. I'm getting similar type fabrics to replace it. This is another fabric. This is real coarse feeling, and it's just in shreds. Every square of it is in absolute shreds. So I have a lot of work to do on this one, but I've enjoyed doing it so far. It's interesting to see how she made it. She hand pieced everything, but she did this border, she sewed it on with, she machine stitched it down. Even though she did all the hand piecing, the border she machine stitched it on her treadle machine. And then she hand quilted it with a thick dark thread, a black thread. Her hand piecing, see if I can show it here, that thread is very, very thick. It's almost like crochet cotton. Here's a close-up of the machine stitching she did on her treadle. But she did not trim these down to triangles or quarter square triangles. She just folded it all up, stuffed it in there. She pieced, I'm sure she pieced some of this border. The backing is dirty. It's from a hog feed sack. I'll post another picture of what the backing, the whole backing looks like, because it actually says hog feed on it. This is her quilting. She was quilting to keep it together. She wasn't doing anything fancy with it. And it held together, and it's still holding together. Most of the hand quilting has not gone away. It's just the fabric has just worn out over 60, 70 years of use, of just, this is what happens. Yeah, here's where you can see that she folded this to the front, and that was her binding. And a lot of it just has worn out. And I've unpicked some of this already. It was quite easy. Some of it just fell apart in my hands. It was just missing, and I just had to rip it off because it was so much disgusting batting and fabric that I realized every time I tried to work on it, I was avoiding it because I had to get rid of some of the dirty pieces. But I think we can get it back to being something that can be handled. Again, here are some pieces that are just, not much can be done with that, but this one's holding together. And this is cute with the little purple flowers, but a lot of it needs to be mended or covered over. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. This is a new piece I've put on there to cover up some of these pieces. So this is a fabric I bought, and I tea-dyed it gently, and I'm replacing some of these that have large, this one I just need to stitch back up, but some of the squares are just completely disintegrated. And then I'm going to have to go back through and hand quilt, replace some of the black stitching, hand quilting, to keep it together and make it look more complete and more like a quilt. I obviously haven't washed this one because it's in such bad shape that there's no way to wash this with it just pieces just falling off and pieces missing. Here's some, sorry about shaking the camera. Here's some more. Some of this I removed. This is cute, the little girl. And that I'll get this replaced. And once I get it all replaced, I will most likely gently wash it. Thanks.